This is a good view where they just logged, about a 2-minute walk from the parking lot. You can see a lake down there, and also there's a small airport. They don't see much traffic, but they do see some. There's a nice bench they put here, so you to see. That's a pretty interesting design. I'm gonna go ahead and continue down here. About another half a mile, you're gonna go underneath some high tension power lines. Then another half a mile, you're gonna hit a fork in the road. If you go straight, it goes to the train tracks. If you take the curve, it goes to a deck, and also an 18-mile long trail that has a few pretty big trestles that are interesting to cross and also ride bikes. This is a snowmobile trail in the winter only, no ATVs in the summer.
I'm going to sit the other way so I can look at the view. It would be better than...
And it'll just be like Madeline. Madeline wanted to go to the EDM.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. Well, let's say she liked it.
Oh.
And I've come here. This is the boardwalk with the pond on the bottom. If you go down this way, there's a pretty big trestle down there. And in about 2 miles, you hit a road. But this goes for over 18 miles. This is the way I just came from. There is a plaque right here. And over here are some signs. This is the way I'm gonna go right now. And there we go. I've only been down to the 2.6, but I know there's a pretty big old trestle you can walk along. On here, about 5 years back, that's when they ripped up the railroad. There was actually train tracks here that were pretty grown in, but they scrapped them. There is still a working train track down here that I'm about to show, and the cool thing about that is it's not a big bridge, but the bridge is shared with the walking trail, so you can walk right next to the tracks. This train does not run often. It maybe runs a few times a week. Okay, a minute later, I've come from this direction. That's where I just came from, the deck. Now there's a 4-way walking trail intersection. There it says Pondicherry. Looking back this way, you can see that fork where I just turned off of to get to the deck. Now you can go this way. All you're really gonna get is train tracks. Now you go this way and you can see the train tracks. You actually have to walk along the tracks to get to some more walking trails. There's actually a pretty cool boardwalk going through a swamp that lets you look at another pond, which is to the left a little bit into the woods. Now see, this bridge here, you go over and the train goes over right next to you. This is a river that drains that big pond that I was just at. And you see that down there? They just put this brand new decking on here for the snowmobilers and hikers. It used to be like that everywhere a few years back. Like, it was scary to walk across. You had to make sure you were on there, or you'd either walk over there where you know it's safe. And you can tell those are really small rails. Like, this was put in a really long time ago. This is a place here. There's some scrap down there. I'm gonna take a few swings magnet fishing off of this, because you know scrap had to have fallen down there. Let me get a look at this train track for you. Now, by the looks of it, you see how it's rusting, but then again it's shiny? This lets you know it's used occasionally. It's not completely run down yet. A few years back, you see that switch up there? That's where it used to go down there. That's where they recently torn up. This is safe to walk across. You see there's lots of ties down there. Here, you got to make sure you're standing on the steady spot. Can I see anything down there? Oh yeah, I see a few pieces of metal. I can probably get up and out of there. This is a big swamp that leads to the other pond I was just talking about. There you see that big stack of rails. That's what they scrapped and ripped up. Here is a big pile of burnt stuff that the fire department a few years ago had to be called because someone lit that on fire. So I'm gonna get my big magnet out Now you see, if I zoom in down there in the middle of the track, there is a ramp that goes across there in case you have trouble walking. You can get right over it without any kind of problem. I really wish I could see a train here. I've never actually seen it go by. Okay, so I got my rope right here. Gonna make sure this is on tightly so that I don't lose any of this. And when you're done using a magnet like this, you always want to scrub it off with a steel brush to make sure it doesn't corrode, because you see how it's starting to corrode. There's no way around that. I have this bumper on here so I don't start scratching it up too badly. Sometimes I put hot glue over the front of it to weaken it, but this is it's got about 1,300 pounds worth of pulling force. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a few swings off the bridge, just for fun. See if I get anything. And this here, like, I'm actually aiming towards things I can see. My first time doing this off a bridge. I haven't even practiced yet before the video. Nope, I thought that was metal. It wasn't. Oh, I got something. Wasn't even aiming for it, but I got something. Look at that. Well, that's a pretty big spike. Kind of heavy. I think there's something else even bigger than what I'm seeing. Let's go. Oh, there's things down there that I can feel tugging. Step on the rope so I don't lose it. I'm just going to let go of it. Nope. Keep getting snagged on. Big swing. Drag it back over. Nothing. I'm going to move over a few. Try it again. Oh. I'm pulling something. Oh, there we go, look at that. That's something huge. What is that? Okay, that's a rock. I was stuck to it. And this is a massive bolt, which I think is for one of the switches, right? Because that's too big for the rail connectors. Okay, I'm still standing on the rope. Gonna get my swing going again. 1, 2. Oh, got something else. What do we have? We got it's not a tide plate, it's too small. Some kind of plate. Oh, I got something. Look at that. Another big bolt. Pull that thing off. I'm getting something. Oh, here we go. Now that's a railroad plate. That's a super old one. You never know where there could be some scrap inside of these different areas. Go ahead and I'm going to swing it like I did before. Because I could feel like a tug down there. Yeah, there we go. It's right there. There we go, there we go. That's another plate. See that right there? We got a plate and a piece of metal. A couple small plates. I'll throw that in the scrap pile the railway has just a few hundred feet away. I'll dump all that down there. Let's go ahead for some more swings. Yeah, I can feel some minor tugs and I know it's not rocks. Yeah, I got something again. Look at that. Another one of those small things. I don't know if that's a spacer of some type. Yeah, there's something again. You see how I'm stuck on it? Am I powerful enough to move it? Nope. I broke free. Oh, there's something else right there I just got stuck to. Oh, I can already see that. That's a piece of rail. There's no way I'm going to move that piece. Oh, I got something again. Another one of those bolts. It looks like... Oh, no, it's not. It's, 2 spikes. I just happened to get them at the same time, so it looked like it was something really big. Well, one of them's broken in half. That's how rusted they are. I'll keep on dragging here until I start not coming up with stuff. This is nice to be doing that on a bridge. I actually see a piece of metal there. It's like a tiny little section of rail. I know I can lift that if I can get contact with it. What is that? I didn't expect that. Look at that thing. Look at that big thing coming. You seeing that down there? That thing is huge. That thing I just got stuck to. Hey, this is like a real big job now. I have to bring it up really slowly. Wow, that thing is huge. Get that piece of rail. Got it. Okay, you see this? This is a piece of rail. Got it off. See that? This is the part that hits the ground. This is where the train sits on top. It's like shattered. Nothing that time. I see something down there, metal. It's pretty big. It's like under the bridge a few feet, so I gotta do my swing. Nope, nope. No. Got it. Oh, I missed it. I dropped it. It's so rusted. The magnet's having a little oh. It just broke in half. It's so rusted, whatever this thing is. It's snapped in half. What is that? Let's get the other part. Got it. Got it. See anything else under there? Another piece of rail under there. Before I grab anything else, I want to clean up this bridge. I want to get everything I just found, and I just want to get it out of here. See that pile I got over there? I'm going to go clean that up real quickly before I continue. And I'm gonna throw it off to the side. Let's go get this other stuff off the bridge. This is the bar. Part of a switch. Damn, hands are filthy. Okay, now here's a pretty big piece of rail down there. Okay, you see it in the center of the screen? That's what I'm looking to get. What else we got under there? There's a few more pieces down there I can get out while I'm here. Oh, I just got my foot stuck in my camera strap. I'm going to use my swinging motion to get that. There's it again there. I'm way off. This is actually the first time I ever did this swinging thing. Oh, look at that. There's something else back there. So heavy. You see how the whole rock just moved? Oh, I'm like so close. I just got a spike. I fished a spike. I don't have much practice at this swinging thing. Can I make that work? Come on, come on. Ah, so close. Wow. Like right next to it, and it's come on, come on. Oh. This is such a tedious game. There, oh, got it. Big piece of rail. It's like 2 feet long, maybe. No, more like 14 inches. I could tell by the magnet. That big piece of rail. Oh no. Oh no, am I not going to be able to get the thing off? taking this thing with me. I gotta smash it on a rock here. By smashing it on a rock, I moved it a little bit so that the whole magnet's not contacting it. I gotta do it again. Okay. You see what I did? I moved it onto a side where it didn't get as much contact, and I was able to release it. Now this piece of rail, I can throw in my junk pile. Okay. Here's another pretty obvious piece down there. Before I do some hiking out here. It was pretty obvious, but now I can't see it. Got it. First try. Here we go. Nice, another piece of metal. It's a rusty bolt. It's time to pack this up. I'm going to walk under there myself by hand because there's a few pieces like underneath it that I want to get, but it's too risky to do through the holes in the bridge, because if I get this thing stuck to like one of those main beams, I'm not going to get it off. Like if I get it stuck to this train track, I'm not going to be able to get that off. If it's like sticks to the side, the top of it, I'm good because it doesn't get enough contact surface. I got to clean my hands off. I'm going to clean my equipment off down there in the river, and we're ready to go. So this here, that'll wash back in the river. That's just little chips. Rust doesn't really hurt the environment or anything because it's a natural occurring thing. Even when you're out in the middle of nowhere where you know there was never anything, you see rust deposits. It's natural. As long as it's not like a stagnant cesspool, you're good. I think at least this is a river. It's dragging it out. And it's not super bad because you see how the water down there wasn't discolored. You would know it's bad if the water was like an orange. I could probably magnifish through here, right? Yeah. These are wood beams. I can take another swing right here. Gotta get some slack. You see that in the middle there? Oh, nope. Got caught up on. I gotta think about this. Can I lift that? It's so rusty, you see, it didn't make good contact with my magnet. It's a pretty big target for me, so I'll get it. Oh, no. Almost. I'm so bad at this. There we go. Oh, no, I dropped it. There we go. We're moving. I stood it up. Oh, yep, there we go. Oh, nope. I flipped it back over. But at least it's kind of loose now. There we go. Now it's right below me, so I can just place the magnet on it perfectly. And I'm going to lift it up straight out of here. I'm still making bad contact with it. Is the magnet dirty, maybe? That would explain it. Yeah, you see, there's stuff all over the magnet. If I clean that off, I'll probably make better contact. It's right below me. I just cleaned off the magnet, so I should be able to lift this piece. I lifted heavier earlier. Oh, here we go. That is giant. Oh, there we go. You see, it's so rusty. There's like even rocks stuck to it. You see, if that was a clean piece of metal, I wouldn't have been able to get this off. I would have had to use the little crowbar I got. But this can go to my scrap pile. I'm not really sure what that part goes to on the railroad. Hey, look at this little guy. He's not even biting. Just slithering across the trail. Okay, I'm gonna let him go now. There he goes, there he goes. It's a nice little snake. Okay, from the railroad tracks, it's about 1.6 miles back to the parking lot. And you come down to this trail right here. Okay, and a little ways up, you come to this junction. Right here, as you can see, this is where I was magnet fishing. You walk down the tracks a little ways, you got this loop. You got another loop here, which goes actually really, really far. I've never been on that one. I am right here at this junction. You can go either way here to get to that pond I was talking about. See, this is the short way. Or you can go this way, and there's even a little loop you can do there that goes around another pond. I'm going to do all of them. I'm going to go ahead and walk on there. It's actually a pretty cool walk. So, the arrow actually tells you to go this way. Start off doing the long way. Along this trail, there are a lot of boardwalks. I'm not going to show the entire trail because it would take like an hour. I'm just going to show the exciting parts of the trail, such as the boardwalks and any waterways I might see. There are lots of frogs and toads that constantly are hopping out of your way. Oh, look at that. We got moose tracks. A moose was here very recently. Look at this. I've just come across a whole bunch of blueberries. I'm going to actually eat a few of those. Be careful you don't eat the red berries because those are poisonous. There's a ton of blueberries, so you got to watch out for bears. They love that stuff. I've just come up to one part of the boardwalk. Goes over this. It's a little stream, but it's kind of dried up today. A little further, and there's a bunch of rocks to step on. And right here is another junction. I have met back up with the short trail. I'm almost to the pond. That is the way I'm going back. So let's continue up this way. Okay, I've just come up to a sign telling you can't bring horses, bicycles, or motor vehicles. It's foot travel only in the New Hampshire Wildlife Sanctuary. So here I've come to these boardwalks, and they added chicken wire because these used to be slippery years ago. This is a pretty cool part of the trail. If you can't notice, the boardwalk is like a foot off the ground. This is a bridge going over. It's not even flowing right now. It's more like muck. But that's what you want to attract moose. They love that stuff. This is a new panel. Must have rotted out. This is a pretty long boardwalk. This is the kind of place you'd see all kinds of snakes and stuff. This is nice how it goes right around the corner like this. Here we go again. Go around another corner, and here we come out here to the pond. Okay, so this is the end. You got this pond. It's actually pretty big. You're not allowed to walk up to the water, as it says in the signs. There's a bench out here that you can sit on. There's also a deck, good sized deck. And now I'm going to start walking back, and there's more boardwalks. Once I hit the fork, I'm going to walk back the other way. And here's another stretch of boardwalk on the other trail. Not much, but it gets you out of the muck. Because I was showing how I was eating blueberries earlier, I just want to show this, just to make this difference clear between these. These here are poisonous berries. I want to show the difference. You see the difference in them? Their color is a little different too, and everything. These blueberries, you see they're slightly different. Like these two are blueberries. These are a little bit brighter in color, and these you can tell by the tops. Just got to make sure you're eating the right ones. And here's another stretch of boardwalk. You only got two, then it dries up again. And then here's probably the longest stretch of boardwalk. It's kind of fun to walk on. It's been a pretty dry year, but if you come out here on a really wet year, occasionally the boardwalk will sometimes even be underwater. It's good that they fixed a few of them because they were pretty rotten. So this is where I am right now. From the pond here, about halfway to the next junction. This trail right here is called Moose Way. You can walk down it, but it's called Moose Way because the trail was created by the moose and all. So you can follow that. I'm going to continue this way. And this is the last boardwalk. If you're wondering, back there I'm recording at 10 times hyperlapse. So it's taking me about 10 times longer than the video is. Okay, so this is where I went before. Back to that fork. Here I am, almost back to the train tracks. Okay, I'm out. It says no snowmobiles. Tells you it's a wildlife sanctuary, a no hunting zone. And then you walk out here to the tracks, and this here has its own crossing number with the train company. You really have nothing to worry about with this train, since the speed limit here is 20 miles an hour. Like, that thing is loud. You're gonna hear that thing coming. And it only runs once or twice a week. Doesn't even tell you what train company it is. So you go across here, and according to the map, you can go right across here. There's a walk along the water, or you can turn, walk down the tracks here and go straight back. That's the way I got here. And if you actually look at the map, by going around here, it comes out up there, and you avoid walking down some of the track. Or if you take the trail, I'm going to do that right now quickly, it comes out up there. Regardless, you have to walk a small section of track. A few seconds later, I come across two signs. You can either go this way along the water, or this way that I'm going to be going. That was a really short trail. Already back to the train tracks. I walked that in 2 minutes. And this is the part you have to walk along. And you can see the track, how it's pitting. That's from it not being used enough. But it rained yesterday. And if the track wasn't used, it would have started corroding with this orange. I've seen that in lots of experience. So, yeah, I think a train came down here this morning. You see it's so grown in on the sides here. Over there is where that deck is from earlier. As you can see, the ties are in really good shape. They're taking care of this track nicely. And walking along, you can see they've been adding a bunch of, those are brand new spikes. This is another crossing, because originally you were supposed to be walking here on the side, but it just got so grown in, nobody does that anymore. This is to walk across. I'm gonna go ahead and walk in here on this trail. I just came from this direction. Here you have a little lookout. This here, and this here, these two trails. Okay, so this one is a dead end. This was created just to get some different angles of the pond. And you also get a beaver dam down here, which the pond is completely empty since it hasn't rained in such a long time. Gonna walk back to that intersection and go the other way.